I am absolutely clocked in.
Hello, laborers of the world. You're listening to Clocked In, a new work podcast.
Hello, tens of listeners. Thank you for listening to the inaugural and perhaps final episode of Clocked In, a work podcast, where I think the only podcast that I know where we're at work, we're doing our day jobs, but we're also doing this podcast.
We are keeping an eye on the Slack channels, on the emails. We're staying clocked in.
I'll do a task if a task.
We'll do a task every once in a while. I think the premise of the show is to talk to our friends while we're working, maybe give some description about what we do. I think everybody has confusing jobs. So, yeah.
That sounds great. I think the first order of business, and we were doing it right before we started rolling, we don't want to get fired, so we're not going to use our real names.
We're not going to use our real names, but it is a picture of our face on the logo.
We might have to change the logo. We might
Maybe
have to
blur our faces out.
Yeah, we might have to go like silhouette on the logo.
Yeah, okay.
Also, the color saturation on the logo, my lips look like pink.
These people aren't going to see it.
Yeah,
we should change that. But we should come up with
pseudonyms. We need to establish that immediately.
What's that French term for pseudonym?
A
nom de plume.
Okay. I feel like you knew what it was. You knew I wasn't going to know what it was, and so you just said it just to flex.
So I'm looking up some famous worker rights activists, kind of with similar histories as me, and just meaning that they're from the same place. So there's a guy.
I'm gonna have to make that first edit right there. Just said our names there.
Oh, fuck.
Maybe don't say where they're from either.
Oh yeah, true. Well,
maybe
people can do their own research, but I think named.
It's the second time. It's definitely another edit.
Okay, I think your name on this podcast should be Seth Luther. I think it's a little bit porn star, but he was a worker rights activist, and also this is like such a baseline research. I can't really stand behind these people, but I think that should be your name.
Yeah, considering it's just a pseudonym. So I'm just Seth. What's my last name?
Seth Luther. I think you should use both.
Okay, Seth Luther, maybe Luth for short.
Luth. Yeah, Luthi. And then mine, all respect to this woman. Again, I don't really know much about her. From Chicago, I think. Full name Stella Nowicki.
Stella Nowicki.
But her nickname, and this is the name I think I would like for myself, so porny, Vicki Starr.
I can't believe you were searching for names for like 30 seconds and you just got 2 gems.
Okay, so we have Vicki and Seth.
Yep. I'll get used to that. That's fine. You're laughing, but it's fine.
It is fine. And I mean, I'm going to call you your real name on accident way more than I call you Seth.
Yeah, that's fine. But like mixing Seth, Luther, Luthi.
Sethy?
Yeah, Sethy's fine.
Okay.
I mean, Stella, probably won't use Stella a lot. I feel like I'll use Vicki more. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine ever saying Vicki Starr
You should
together. That just won't happen.
You could go just with the Star.
No, Wiki is fun.
It's a great last name.
Yeah, Star, Vicki, Stella. I feel like any of those could come out.
Sticky.
That doesn't feel good.
Anyway, should we talk about how we started working together? Or is that too specific?
If you can leave out basic biographical data.
Well, the history is that we were friends outside of work before we worked together. And then there was an opening at the place that I worked. And Seth applied. And
did other people apply for that job?
Yeah.
Were there other interviews? It wasn't just me? Okay.
Yeah. And I purposefully had nothing to do with the interview process because I, A, would be a horrible interviewer, and B, obviously there's like...
that would have been awkward.
Yeah. There was like slight nepotism, but did get the job on his own.
Fucking A.
Oh, fuck
Vicki.
me, bro. Seth got the job. We've been working together for over a year. Do you feel like it changed our friendship?
So like, I feel like when you work with someone, it's like you're worried you'll get annoyed with them.
Yeah.
Or like it will actually neuter the hangs outside of work,
Yeah.
But I definitely feel closer to you now than when I started working here.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I guess that's all I have to say there. Same question, I guess.
Yeah, I think that I was really excited when you got the job, and I didn't think about the actual day today. And then on your first day, I had a moment of, oh shit, maybe this will change our friendship. Because I would say we were close before this, and I was a little worried that like, obviously you're semi different in a workplace, and technically I was training you because there was no one else on our team for a while.
Right.
So I was a little worried about that. I honestly don't really think it was ever that weird. And
yeah, that makes sense. But like, I feel like that's probably true for like people will interview on the show, have conference calls with, as they say. But usually there's a separation between when you get to this age, like people you see at work and like people that you're hanging out with socially. All right. Before we get into interviews, do you want to maybe talk about your first job, maybe the worst job you've ever had? If you have any funny job anecdotes, that might be a good way to set the tone here.
Yeah. It's interesting to try and think about how to, I mean, anonymity isn't really that important, I guess, but some of my jobs have been pretty specific. My first job was on, in kind of a gated Christian community on a beach. I worked in a place called The Shack, and it was
sounds like food,
sandwiches, ice cream, penny candy. And I worked there for 2 summers. Only thing I remember is there was a jukebox with John Mayer's Continuum in the jukebox.
Okay, does that have... It was Bigger Than My Body on Continuum?
I have no idea. I Slow Train is on it.
Slow Train? What about like the punching underwater?
Stop This Train, not Slow Train.
Okay. Is Waiting on the World to Change on Continuum?
Maybe, okay, we're going to do our first. This is what, if we had like a producer, they would do this, but we're actually our own producers, if you can imagine.
If we can get our boss into this and not get fired, I think this would be his job. Yeah, this is what we...
Okay, yeah, Waiting on the World to Change.
Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, that's the underwater one I was thinking about.
Gravity, Vultures is a great song. Stop This Train.
Heart of Life is nice too.
That's a pretty good album. September 12th, 2006.
No, September 11, 2006 says my Spotify, bro. Maybe Spotify is just getting a 9/11 joke in
5-year anniversary. I wonder how much music will come up, because music is obviously like a big part of our friendship. What was your first job?
My first job was at a Nike factory store. I applied. I don't know why I did. But it was like 10th grade. So like I was pretty young. I don't know actually. How old were you when you got your first job?
I think it was the summer before 10th grade.
Yeah. So mine was maybe even later then, but not everyone, but a lot of people in my hometown worked at the Nike store. It was like a outlet nearby. And I applied I want to say I filled out the application at 3 a.m. Wow. Like on a summer night. And I don't think I was really like drinking or anything by this time. So I was just up at 3 a.m. doing whatever. Yeah. And I was like, let's fill out an application for Nike. Okay. And then I might have written, I do remember this. I definitely, when it came to the references part, I wrote like 10 people that I knew there.
Holy shit.
I got a call maybe a week or 2 later. Got an interview, and it was a group interview. I don't know if you've ever done a group interview.
Okay, not in person.
Yeah, and sitting across from me, and I'm gonna redact this person's name, but like one of my best friends who I hadn't talked about applying to the job with. But
wait, so neither of you had mentioned to the other that you were applying for this job?
Yeah, we didn't talk about the fact that we were applying for it, but he was just there in the group interview, and I was laughing. I'm like, that's so hilarious. Weird. And he had a funny trajectory there. He quit without letting anyone know he quit, and then got rehired there, and then quit again without letting anyone know he quit.
So you both got the job?
Yeah, we got the job. It was I don't think I was good at that job. I would do equipment because I was so like mentally checked out. I wouldn't do footwear. I wouldn't do apparel. So they gave me like equipment, which my boss once described to me as the redheaded stepchild of the store.
What kind of equipment does a Nike footwear store
Like
have?
socks, like shin guards, baseball gloves.
Okay.
Really anything that isn't footwear or apparel, but it just allowed me to hide in the back of the store.
Yeah, that's the stuff that no one's really coming into that store to buy, but maybe picking up once they're there getting shoes.
Yeah. There's a lot of theft though.
Yeah.
With equipment specifically, like you would find socks like
Did
empty.
you get in trouble for that?
I never got in trouble. I think the only time I got in trouble was when I was in college. I would go back and work there my summer after my freshman year. And I was just getting pretty blasted on my lunch breaks. And I was coming back and I was being like visibly stoned. Yeah. And I remember one time my boss and we were like moving around a sock fixture. Because like every like 2 weeks they'd be like, all right, you need to move all these end caps and fixtures.
They had to give you some task.
Yeah, they just had to give me something. And she just looked me in the eyes, and there was a moment. She didn't say anything, but yeah, I was not welcomed back the following summer. Even though I put in like 3 years.
Holy
Yeah,
shit. You had another job, I think, later in life that you would also get stoned on your lunch breaks.
Oh yeah, when I met who's going to be our first
other
guest today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was post college. Should we get to an interview, or do you have any other logistical things that you want to talk about before we get there?
No, I think it's good to start. This is like a good proof of concept.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious how the interviews are going to work. We have almost no technology to have the phone connected to
Our boy
recording.
Big Hoss was not happy when I told him that I was just going to hold the speakerphone up to the microphone. But that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I've seen people do that on podcasts.
Yeah, this is the first episode.
Like our production value is only Vicki was like shaking her head no, like don't reveal where we are. Don't give any incriminating info.
I think we can, a room with no windows, 4 walls, so many boxes.
All right, I'm going to give the call.
Okay.
He's going to pick up.
Do we want to give any introduction?
No. Yeah, okay, so we're live on the pod right now. No names, that's the thing. Well, my name actually is Seth, and
Seth, hi. Good to hear from you, Seth.
my partner's name is Vicki.
Hi, Vicki. What's going on?
Or Stella. You can also use Stella.
Or Stella. Okay, great. Perfect. Yeah, that works.
Do
Vicki,
you-
Stella, my name's Bradley. Nice
Brad.
to talk with both of you.
Good to meet you, Brad. I think Vicki has a question for you. Hey, we're doing the interview.
Oh, okay. Please, take it away.
Yeah, well, I think the first 2 questions we should ask every conference caller are, firstly, what are you doing right now in layman's terms for your job? What task are you doing right now? And the second, I think we could just ask everyone for their first go around what your first job was.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, happy to answer. So my current job, I spend mostly making phone calls to people who don't have any money and can't buy stuff. But I still ask them if they can buy stuff. And, at the very least, sometimes they agree to think about buying stuff over the course of 30 minutes. But that's really it. Most of the time they work in places that have no money and they tell me they have no money. But I still ask if they want to buy stuff anyway. That's the kind of bare bones description of my job. I'm happy to add more detail if you'd like, but that's what I do on a day-to-day basis.
That's great detail. I think I do have one follow-up question in just how does it feel on these phone calls when you're about to make the phone calls? What is going on in your head?
So usually how it works is because the nature of my job is fairly monotonous and I just kind of do the same thing over and over again, I might be, making myself a cup of coffee while I'm making these phone calls or playing with my cat or,
Oh, you have a cat?
I do have a cat. Yeah, no, lovely cat. He threw up all over the rug this morning, which was really a joy to clean up. But aside from that, fine. Yeah, so I'll play with him. I'll, make a cup of coffee. I'll be looking at something on my phone, which I am not calling from because I have a computer headset that I can just make calls directly from my computer. There could be any number of things that I could be thinking about. That's the beauty of this job, is that because the mechanics of the job are so rote, I could be doing functionally anything from anywhere.
Are you wearing a headset right now? Is that what you just said?
No, not right now. I answered this call on my cell phone, but I could be wearing a headset depending on the circumstances.
And I know I asked another question, but I feel like we should dig deeper into this. What is the draw of this job to you? You mentioned it has some freedoms. Is that important?
Great question. So the first draw is that I make money by doing this, enough to pay rent. I even have healthcare and benefits, both of which are great. No, they're not great, but they are healthcare and benefits, which is better than not having those things. The main kind of joy I get out of this job is that because I am able to do it from anywhere in the world, if some other activity that I enjoyed that required me to be on the road for, 2-3 weeks at a time happened to pop up, I could still functionally do this job intermittently from, say, the lobby of like a popular hotel chain, just about anywhere, as long as there's a Wi-Fi signal. So really, that's kind of the main draw. I also am a bit of a yapper. At least I've been told this by my partner, Lisa. She tells me that I talk a lot, and so I think my skill set works pretty naturally for this job.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, though.
Hey, thank you so much. This is really kind of right in my wheelhouse, is talking to people over the phone. I have a lot of experience there. You asked another question about my first job ever.
Yes.
Yeah, so kind of tough to say. I guess my first formal employment, I was a canvasser for a political NGO, and
no states.
Salary. So sorry. Well, you can. I'm sure you can edit that out or bleep that out.
You should make up a name for the state.
Okay. From Crabtown. I was a political canvasser in Crabtown, and it was. Listen, that was. You want to talk about hard work? It's the exact opposite of my current position. Going door to door and trying to extol the virtues of not littering in Crabtown, and trying to kind of raise money for that, particularly in kind of the suburbs just outside of Crabtown, where the population tends to be a little bit more pro-littering and just kind of throwing stuff all over the place. That was a really difficult job. I did not find a ton of success, but I did make, a meager amount of money. I guess that would probably be my first full-on job. It was more a summer thing, but yeah.
Yeah. Were you seeking signatures?
Yes.
Vicki, you did some political organizing too,
Yeah,
right?
I've done some canvassing. I was recently talking about canvassing with a friend. It seems like something that it seemed like an easy entry point for people interested in getting involved with politics, but yeah, that shit is so hard, and you're seeking signatures. And I was just talking to a friend who said she worked in her canvassing role for 2 weeks before getting fired because she couldn't get 3 signatures.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks?
No, I mean, it's
wow.
It's a brutal racket, and frankly, it's one that made me kind of broadly more cynical about the entire process of NGO-based politics. But that's a whole rant. I could go on that for hours.
Well, do you want to talk about? I asked before you called.
Fucking A.
Fuck.
Vicky, my name is Seth. A lot of granular.
I've been saying Seth's government God-given name multiple times. We were talking about the job where you met and where I believe you would maybe smoke a little bit of weed on your lunch breaks.
Our climbing friend is giggling if they heard that.
Yeah, so I can neither confirm or deny any sort of illicit activity that may or may not have happened at a former place of employment wherein I met Seth. All I can attest to is that this area, where the office was fairly close to a pretty beautiful location, actually in Crabtown, and you go on your lunch break, you're off the clock for a little bit. It's a nice day. You take a walk, go sit by the harbor in Crabtown, USA. And, it's a gorgeous view. And it was a nice kind of bonding moment, me and Seth. And it formed the pillar of a relationship that we still have today as very close friends who definitely spend their working hours doing important stuff.
Well, Vicki, you got anything else for Brad, or should we keep it moving?
I think, Brad, this was a great inaugural phone call. I think you'll be a frequent guest on this podcast, if I had to guess. If you would be so generous with your time.
Hey, thank you so much. And listen, I really appreciate it. Happy to do it anytime.
Thanks so much, Brad.
Bradford, which one? Bradley?
Bradford.
Bradford.
Yeah, Bradford.
All right. Bye, Brad.
Bye.
See ya.
Our first conference call, I feel like that was like hitting off a tee. In T-ball.
I forgot that he has a podcast.
Yeah, he does that a good amount. I want to say once a week.
Yeah, that's a lot. I forget that about him. You can tell. I'd be curious to call one of our other friends that doesn't have podcast experience, because I felt like Brad has a great cadence and projection.
All right, who do you think we should bring up next?
There's a good chance our climbing friend is actually working.
Climbing.
Or climbing.
What up now?
Hey, what's up? Do you have a moment to talk?
Sort of. I'm at work, but
Oh, that's perfect. So you're actually live on Clocked In right now. We're not using legal names or business names for this. So I'm Seth, and my partner is Vicki, but you can also call her Stella if you want.
Cool. Vicki, aka Stella.
Do you have a few moments to talk to us about your job?
As I am, in fact, clocked in.
Let's go. Do you have a pseudonym that you'd like to use for this interview?
Yeah, let's go with Jack.
Jack, let's go.
Captain Jack.
Captain Jack. I love it.
You don't have to be super specific, but as specific as you would like to get, what is your job and what are you doing right now?
My job is climbing gym.
Great.
Supervisor and instructor. And right now we are playing When Taken, which is this really cool game I highly recommend. It gives you a photograph from somewhere in the world, and you're supposed to try to guess where and when the photo was taken to your closest degree.
I thought it was going to be like Liam Neeson Taken. Like you get a photograph and you have to go like rescue someone from like sex trafficking or something. That's the plot of Taken, right?
Is a bit above my pay grade, but yes, it's a really fun game that we play when it's slow. So that's what's happening right now.
What is your favorite part of your current job?
The community.
Aww.
The people are awesome. And I do really like teaching when I do that part of it.
That's inspiring. Having met people from your community.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that vibe. Like y'all are taking trips.
We're taking trips. We're making silly videos. We're engaging in shenanigans on the clock. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing. I feel like I'm trying to, in the broader scope of this podcast, I don't think it'll happen in one episode, but to get to the core of like why we are working. And like we just had another friend on the pod talking about the draw of working, and obviously like a huge part of that is money, or kind of has to be money. But what would you be in this job if money was not a consideration?
That's a really good question. I think I would maybe work here a little less, but I actually think, because a major perk of my job is getting to climb at this gym for free. And so getting if I were making a little bit of money instead of paying money to climb here. And I also actually like truly do find teaching very fulfilling. So that part, and it feels nice to, part of this job is like caring for the space. So it kind of feels like, you know, when people do like a volunteer thing at like a yoga studio where they like volunteer some hours behind the desk and then they get to have the yoga space for free or whatnot. It feels like kind of like taking care of this space that I like to be.
That's so sweet.
I mean, I have, again, like, right, the money thing. Could this job pay more money? Would that be sweet if I felt a little more financially secure in my life? For sure. But I think I have a pretty good thing going on. And I'm grateful for it.
So sweet. Do you want to ask the question we've been asking everybody?
Yeah. Can you speak at all to what your first job was? And maybe if not your first job, do you have any funny employment stories from preferably early in your working career?
Yeah, my first ever job was working at Abercrombie Kids.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow. How old were you?
Yeah, 16 or 17.
Did you spray the perfume in the vents?
I did not, but people did do that. I folded clothes and just like greeted people when they came in, and you had to have a really specific script that you greeted people with, and you had to wear Abercrombie to work.
That's not. Did you have like a folder, like a plastic trifold shirt folder, or were you doing that manually?
Manually.
Wow.
We just learned a technique, and I don't remember it anymore. They're like, maybe actually it's because this was my first job. My t-shirt drawer is chaos all the time now. I just kind of throw them in there.
And you were specifically in the kids department?
I was specifically in the kids department because I was such a tiny high schooler that I could fit into like the large kids' clothes. So they had the employees like, you were like modeling the clothes also.
Wow.
So I could wear like a large kid's shirt and shorts as a 16-year-old.
And so you're like kind of trying to sell to the parents, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah. Or like people, or you know, kids will come in with their like allowance money or whatever. Was kind of the vibe.
Wow.
Abercrombie definitely had social capital.
For sure.
Definitely.
At that age.
It did, yeah. And I was kind of like, I remember actually being a little socially anxious about that job because like popular rich kids would come in, and I went to a high school where that hierarchy didn't really exist. It was like a weird kid art high school. So when, you know, like the vibe of kind of obviously popular kids from other schools came in, I was like really aware of like, I don't feel like I fit in, but I'm working here. So yeah.
That's wild to be exposed to that, but not like necessarily involved in it, but still like recognizing it at that age is a really weird feeling. Dang. Well, thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time.
Jack.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's been a true honor. I can't wait to listen to the other episodes.
Is Jack, well, if there are other episodes.
If there are, maybe this is the one.
Yeah, we have one episode for now, and that could be where it ends, but either way, you have been a part of history. Now, is Jack short for John?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Interesting. That's a thing, right? Like some Jacks go by John.
I think some Johns go by Jack.
Right. Okay. That's what I meant. Yes, definitely.
So
right, and that is always confusing to me because it's the same number of letters.
Yeah. Why? It's like, well, I get wanting to have like another nickname in the mix, if you will.
What if Jack was short for Jack in the Box?
You see, that would be electric. There was a John in my hometown who was Jack, and I found out his name was John after knowing him for over a decade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Now it appears I do have to get back to the desk.
Perfect
ending.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Jack.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
It's also an interesting concept for a podcast of just cold calling people.
Well, I think we'll get guests in future episodes.
Yeah.
Hi, baby.
Oh, let's go.
So nice. Hello. You're here live on Clocked In.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that name.
And it's basically a podcast where we're at work. We're trying to call our friends that maybe are also working to ask them at least 2 specific questions for this episode. It might expand in the future. Do you have a second to be a guest on our pod?
I am so honored. I sure absolutely do.
That is the best news ever. For the purposes of this podcast, my name is Vicki, and
Seth.
That's Seth.
You guys are so Seth and Vicki, though.
Seth Luther and Vicki Starr, if you want last names.
Yeah, I do want last names.
Okay, well, I guess first, just preliminary question. Are you working right now, technically?
I sure am. I am absolutely clocked in.
That's awesome.
That's the tagline.
Yeah, that's gonna be the start of the episode.
Yeah, totally.
Like before the theme song. Absolutely, I am clocked in.
Do you want to explain we're cautious of anonymity and not getting fired, but do you want to explain in as simple of terms as you're comfortable with your current job and what you're doing right now?
My current job is I write for a food and beverage magazine. And my current task right now is writing an article, which is kind of a funny full circle moment. It's about Panera Bread, which was my first job ever. Was working at Panera Bread after school. So this is a pretty good, neat bow on a humble origin story.
They're gonna say this was staged.
Yeah, this seems so staged because our other question was, can you explain your first job to us?
Oh, damn. That's pretty good. Yeah, first job. I remember going into the interview for a Panera Bread at a travel plaza. And I remember like rehearsing questions they might ask me with my grandma because I wanted the job so bad, not really understanding that that's not really how it goes for like a entry-level Panera Bread job. And I wore dress pants to the interview.
Aww.
And I took out my nose ring for the interview.
So sweet. Do you remember anything they asked you?
I don't remember any questions they asked me, but I remember that the guy that interviewed me was the main manager, and he was a total buster, but the assistant manager...
Total buster.
Awesome. And I drew up a tattoo for him. He wanted to get a tattoo with his mom's name on it, and it was the first tattoo I ever designed for anybody.
During the first interview?
No. During, like, my tenure at the job, which was, like, 3 months. But it was all worth it. To the best of my knowledge, he did get the tattoo. So it's permanently body thanks to this connection we made.
That's really cool.
How old were you at the time?
16 or 17. 17, final answer.
That checks out.
That seems like a wild job at a travel plaza, a Panera Bread. I'm sure you're probably working crazy hours and seeing any number of type of person.
Absolutely, to both. It was a very there's one time my manager, the assistant manager, the cool one with the tattoo, was working and the main guy wasn't, and we had a customer come in, and she paid, and I'm working the register, and whatever. It's very late. It's very much a weeknight. I very much have school at 6 a.m. tomorrow, and we hand her food at the end of the line or whatever. And, it's made by kids with pimples who like we're all underlings. Like there's no level of, it's very easy to clock what the dynamic is here. Mm. And she is immediately flies into an outrage because our trays are plastic and our bowls are plastic. Mm. She's like, where's the ceramic? Where's the Panera Bread experience? She sounds kind of like Peppermint Patty in the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving one. Where's the pumpkin pie? She was just like that. And,
that's a great voice you just brought out for that.
So we had Danny come out. She's like, I demand to speak to your manager. And I was like, well, I'll go get somebody. So I bring out Danny. And he explains, like, ma'am, we're a travel plaza. We don't have ceramic. He, explains the whole thing of, ceramic could be a weapon. Like, someone could break a bowl and threaten us with it because this is a travel plaza. And she doesn't really accept that. So she says, I demand to speak to the highest person in charge.
Wow.
And he spins in a circle and then looks at her and says, hi, how can I help you? And I thought that was...
Oh, my goodness.
Spins in a circle.
That's a real life, sir, this is a Wendy's moment.
Yeah, for my job.
Did she leave after that?
You know what? I have to be honest, it's all a blur. I think I might have blacked out from joy. I thought that was such a huge justice moment.
Yeah, spinning around. Wow.
That's so awesome. I'm always amazed by people that are that quick on their toes to do something.
Oh, that's clever.
So cool.
That's
because
witty.
he always smoked weed in the walk-in, which is for legal reasons. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
That's becoming a theme on this episode.
He was very quick on his feet about things like that.
When he opened the walk-in, did it just come clouding out?
We'll see. It kind of mingles with the temperature difference of opening the walk-in. There's always a cloud from like just the cold entering the hot, so it kind of was sort of genius. If it were to have happened, it would have been genius.
Yes, but legally it definitely didn't.
Legally, it
yeah.
never happened.
Wow, that is a crazy story. I feel like you're gonna have to be another. I keep saying this, but
recurring
you have
guest.
to be a recurring guest because
For
I feel like
sure.
you have stories and you're so good at telling them.
I love you so much. I would be truly honored. One thing I've got is a lot of stories.
Hey, that's a lot. You're wealthy.
You're wealthy. Oh, that's awesome. Panera Bread does have it fucking locked in with the SIP Club membership. That is a very cost-effective thing to do.
Wait, what is it?
The SIP Club membership, it's a basically you like pay a flat rate per like month or year or something, and you can like refill. You can get like unlimited beverages, basically. Like not like craft beverages. Like you couldn't get like a frozen blended latte, but you could like come in and get like a juice or like one of those like caffeinated lemonades that were killing people, or like you could get like any of that unlimited on tap with the SIP Club membership, which we saw a lot because incidentally at travel plazas, that's the thing that people that drive trucks cross country, a lot of them are SIP Club members because there's a Panera Bread at all the travel plazas, so they stop in, they fill up. It makes sense for folks that live a lifestyle like that. But yeah, shameless plug for the Panera SIP Club. It's a cost-effective promotion.
That's awesome. I can imagine just people walking in, flashing their card and going up to the beverage dispenser.
Oh yeah, that's immediately what happened. They're pretty I always felt I had to apologize even though I was literally just standing there.
They're royalty, Panera royalty.
Yeah.
We're just plebes.
Fuck on the pod. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you can curse. We're a pro curse.
Oh yeah, we've certainly cursed already.
Excellent. Well, shit, I love you guys so much. I hope that it's so good the rest of the day.
Thank you so much. We're about to make the world's most famous podcast.
Yeah, you're a part of it.
And you're a part of it. A founding father.
That's the song.
Yeah, we're talking about this. Like, I think we need to make our own theme song.
Oh, absolutely. With the two of you and your multi-talented musical ability, absolutely there has to be a song.
Yeah, we really should. Thank you so much. Love you so. Do you have a pseudonym you'd like us to use?
I love you so much. Something like really either super normal or super far out.
Peanut?
Oh, that was my nickname as a kid.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot.
The haters are going to say this is fake. Like, this has been too serendipitous.
I literally am looking at a list of the 311 members' names, and one I guess
one
is
of them called Peanut.
Yeah, it's like P with hyphen nut, so not even like the food.
That's like worse than iced tea versus iced tea.
It's horrible.
No, it's not good.
Peanut?
It's like very close to being like a cute, wholesome name.
But he's in 311. I wonder how that goes. It's like you're at the bar and you're chatting somebody up and it's going pretty well and they're like waiting. You can tell they want to tell you something, but they're like putting it off. And then they're like a half hour in, they're like, "Hey, you know that band 311? Like, I'm in 311." You're like, "Whoa, that's crazy! Oh my god, this is the guy from 311." And then you text her while he's in the bathroom. "Oh my god, I just got a drink with the guy from 311." And she's like, "Which one?" And you're like, "I don't know actually." And you ask him, and he's like, "Oh, Peanut." That's whack as fuck.
If it makes it any better, the other names are Nick, Chad, Tim, and I can't really read the last one. It looks like it might say Saw.
I assumed it was Sam, but that could be the M after.
It's kind of hard to read.
I guess it has to be Saw because I don't think they would. First of all, it's shocking that we have a 311 poster so nearby. But secondly, it has to be Saw because this poster presumably made it by like rounds of management in the band themselves. Like they wouldn't just have one of the band members' names listed incorrectly, would they? Like they have hits.
They do have hits. They have dedicated.
What's the 311 hit? Do they do Amber is the Color of Your Energy?
I don't know. The hit I know is Down from the Eric Andre show. You know that one?
Oh,
I can't say I know
can't
it.
say I do, but it does look like it's Nick, DJ SA, I'm guessing, by the stylization.
Dude,
S.A. Martinez.
Peanut is actually the best name of all of
Tim,
those.
Chad, and Peanut. Yeah.
Yeah, Amber is their top song. Down is in their top 5 as well. I guess we can't play 311. Like, we actually might get a copyright strike if we do that. But this is definitely more.
They're pretty good if you want to use it.
Yeah, I think they're. Well, shall we say goodbye again?
I love
to
it.
our beautiful Peanut guest.
Thank you, Peanut.
Thank you, Peanut.
It's 1,000,000% made my day.
Love you so much. You are amazing.
You were
at
an
this.
incredible guest.
Yeah.
We've had great guests.
I love you so much. Have fun, you guys. I guess I'm going to keep writing about Panera Bread.
Hell yeah. Love you so much. Talk to you soon.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
I did, while we were filming that, receive a call from...
I don't think he's going to want anything to do with this.
I really... I'm going to talk to him casually first, I think. We're about to ask you the easiest questions of your whole life. Sean, do you want to ask the first one?
Yeah, so Lavender, thanks for coming on the program. We're anticipating tens of listeners, so, really big moves. But the first question we want to ask you is, what was your first job? And do you have any funny stories from either that job or early in your employment career? And then the other question we have, in the broadest, most general terms possible, what are you doing for your job right now?
Right now.
Are you clocked in right now?
Are you clocked in?
Yeah, I'm clocked in, but right now I'm talking to you guys. So okay, we'll start the first one. My first job was working at a psychiatric research facility, and I worked at the front desk. This isn't a funny story as much as it is just it was a scary story, I guess, but it was like maybe my second day on the job. And a lot of what I was doing was screening phone patients. So we were doing these research studies to test the effects of some new drug. And we were doing a schizophrenia study. And this guy, I made a call to some prospective patient, and on the phone, he made what I deemed to not be a very credible threat of killing me, of coming and I was like, I just got off. I was like, okay, whatever. This guy's just spamming or whatever, and then I hung up the phone and I casually mentioned it to one of the nurses. I was just like, oh man, is this how this job's always going to be? This guy called and they were like, oh my God. And then they called the cops and it was my second day and it was all of this intense shit. I don't know what became of it, but they gave him his location and everything. And apparently he was known to be violent. So yeah, it was really a joke. I can think of something funnier maybe, but that's the only job I've had besides the one that I'm doing now. So,
wow.
It doesn't have to be funny.
No, it doesn't have to be funny, and that's a good total shit. We're not going for comedy here.
Okay, great. I can bring the mood down for you guys.
No, thank you for sharing.
I do think I said this before, my goal, I don't know if we'll ever do another episode of this again, but I think if someone took this idea and ran, there is something to be said of an undercurrent of, I don't know, we could turn this into a workers' rights podcast / I don't know, anti-capitalist vibe.
Well, I feel like that's been implied in all the conversations we've had so far.
We're getting serious.
Yeah, we are getting serious. But
not a comedy podcast.
No, I think that's fine. But I guess...
that's a heavy first job to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty dysfunctional place. I'm also just looking for a fucking phone booth because I'm talking in... Here, give me 1 second.
Oh, you're in your co-working space.
I'm in my co-working space, yeah, which makes me want to blow my brains out. But
wait, that's okay. You should talk about that.
Okay, I'll talk
after
about that
you find a booth.
That job was pretty. It was silly to have. It was in Las Vegas, and was I needed a job between high school and college, and so that's what I did. But I walked in, and the lady who ran it was really, really intense. And I walked in and interviewed. I talked to her for maybe 15 minutes or something. And then she was like, okay, wait 1 second. And then she got up and she fired the current front desk person live while I was there.
She said 1 second, then fired.
And then I didn't hear what she said, but
He's just retelling. He's laughing at what you said.
Okay, great.
Also, my name's Seth.
Oh, we didn't tell. Oh, yeah.
We definitely.
Wait, yeah. What are your names? We
Seth
got
and
Stella
Vicki.
Seth and Vicki or Stella.
Okay, Seth, Vicki, great.
Wait, but was it because was there a job opening listed?
There was a job opening listed for something else, but it had requirements that I didn't have. Like, you needed an undergraduate degree in psychology or something. And I went in and I was like, hey, I don't have a degree in anything, but these are my skills. And then she went up and fired the front desk guy, who I later found out there were a lot of problems with this guy. So she was just looking for any excuse to. But yeah, then I started right then, then and there. And she just put me at the front desk and was like, okay, this is how it goes. She was really, really intense, but she ended up, she's amazing. She can act like that, but she was also really cool.
How long did you work there?
I only worked there full time that summer, but I went back for breaks and I worked for her in other capacities over the course of the next few years. Yeah.
Well, okay, and we were talking about your co-working space, which maybe...
My God.
If you want to talk about that in tandem with your current role in as broad terms as you're comfortable.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about my current role.
Neither are we, dude. We're trying not to get fired.
We don't want to get fired.
I don't want to get fired. Exactly. I don't want to get canceled. What do I do?
You can just talk about your space if you want. It's going to be difficult, I feel like, to... But if you feel up to the challenge,
if the 10 listeners are the 10 listeners that I predict them to be, then I've already outed myself for sure. But so I don't really care about that anonymity. I don't know. I am in charge of things.
I like that. I really like that. Yeah, I'm in charge. Don't worry about it.
I'm just in charge. Yeah.
Do you like working in a co-working space?
Oh, in general, yes, but this one, no. It's a hellscape. It's and I've got to keep my voice kind of down because I'm in this co-working space and all the fucking booths are occupied. But it's first let me paint the picture of co-working space options. So the first one is you got your WeWork. And the way the WeWork works is it's basically a lottery whether you get to work there every day, even if you have a membership. It's full every single day, booked out for months. And then they will at the beginning of the day, some number of people will cancel, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I've paid whatever it is, $300 this month, so hopefully I can go to work on this day if I'm lucky enough.
Oh my goodness!
So and then you go in there, and then it's just a shit show. It's just there's so many people. So that's option number one. The other options that I've found have all just been quote co-working spaces, but really they're just a cubicle in a concrete box with no light whatsoever. So the options were that one, or the concrete box, WeWork, or staying at home, and I couldn't bear to stay at home any longer. So I came to this spot, which has the potential to be really cool, but unfortunately the vibe is absolutely cursed. There's the worst possible royalty-free lo-fi hip-hop beats playing the whole fucking time, and it's weird. It's swingy too. It's swingy. It's what's it called? Not electro swing. It's it has undertones of that. It's really, really bad. And then I feel just by I make an okay amount of money here. I feel like I am bringing the median salary down by $2 million. I feel like I'm making, yeah. It's intense, and everyone constantly just has spreadsheets open, and they're buy, sell, trade, just dumb shit. So I have yet to talk to a single person.
Why do you think, if they're making so much money, why do these people not have offices?
Because they're probably all working for remote companies. They're and so there are many teams here. Like many people from the same office will work here. So I imagine that if there's like a company that's based out of it or something, they'll be like, okay, we can have our people all work out of this space together. But I will say it's designed really well. It's super nice. It's like you have sweeping views of like the huge windows on every single side. It's really, really beautiful. And the design is not of the place itself is not something that I would choose to like decorate my home with. But the whole goal here is like, I want somewhere that I really, really want to leave the whole time, because then I will get my work done faster. So I come here, I bring nothing fun, I bring nothing distracting, I get my work done, and then I'm like, get me the fuck out of here. And it served that purpose really well.
So you have no distractions, nothing happening to you while you're there that's taking
Except
you
for
off
the
your
occasional
job.
phone call from my friends who want to do a podcast.
Just no distractions.
There's no distractions. That's why I'm here. But
Perfect.
I might try somewhere else.
Co-working spaces in our current home.
I just need a back pocket. Yeah, I'm in charge.
Yeah, I'm in charge.
I run things.
How long are you there a day? Sorry, last logistics question.
How long am I here? It really depends. Today I got in kind of late because I had lunch with a friend, so I got here at like 10:30, or maybe closer to 11. And I can, it really just depends.
Early lunch.
Yeah, what time are you eating lunch? What time do you wake up?
What was that? Today I woke up at like 7, but no, my sleeping schedule shifts a lot. But the simple answer to your question is I'm here for as little time as possible, and I would never be here for less than an hour and a half. And I haven't had to be here for more than a standard work day. I think yesterday I worked pretty long hours. Yesterday I got here at like 9:30. I worked until the space closes at 5, and then I worked at home for another like 4 hours.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And I was actually locked in that entire time. I was not just clocked in.
Whoa.
The discernment.
Yeah, between locked in and clocked in. He knows.
Wow.
Great.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thanks for your time, Labby.
Okay, bye.
Sorry, no. Oh my God.
I mean, that feels pretty good. 4 guests called me back.
Yeah, I'll do an interview. Should I
Hey,
be a
buddy.
character, though?
You should.
No, it's no character, but we have pseudonyms.
Okay.
Like I'm Seth,
Okay.
and we also have Vicki or Stella, depending on which one you prefer.
Okay.
And you should also have a pseudonym for yourself, and you should speak vaguely about all the questions that we ask.
Okay. That sounds good. Can I be a character?
I guess if you want.
Okay.
We've been referring you as Fish Girl on the pod.
Okay, that's great. Can you also call me Sully?
Sully.
Yeah.
That's a great name. That's very cool.
Okay. So, Sully, in the broadest terms, are you clocked in right now? Are you at your job? How would you describe what you're doing?
Sure I am. I'm clocked in. I'm sitting in my chair, and it spins, and I'm drinking a Spindrift.
Spindrift Lime, right?
Spindrift Lime that I got accidentally in my grocery order.
I would love to maybe just take this second to specifically reach out to Spindrift. If there's one thing that could come from this podcast that I like, my ideal scenario, it would be a Spindrift sponsorship. I can't say enough good things about raspberry lime Spindrifts. So thanks for bringing that up, Fish Girl, Sully. Love those.
Sully, back to you, back to your job. Can you just describe in general terms what you do?
Yeah. I type. I talk. I swirl around in my chair. I look out the window. I write little notes to myself. And I drink seltzer.
Do you feel like what you do, is it bringing you fulfillment aside from the monetary gains that you might receive?
You know, I think it's just fun. I've had jobs that really like suck the life out of my soul, and this isn't one of them, which is good. So I'm glad that I don't have that.
Yeah, that's great. That kind of seems to be that is also my metric, at least at this point of my life.
Soul sucking?
Not having a soul sucking job. But I think that with more guests would become like an interesting dichotomy of like people in a job that is not soul sucking, that's like kind of their baseline so that they can focus on other things, versus the people that are in their jobs because that's their form of fulfillment.
Yeah. Could you tell us about the first job you ever had, and maybe if you have any funny stories from either that job or previous jobs that you've held?
Sure. I babysat like obviously a lot growing up, but I coached hockey growing up, and that was pretty fun. Coaching little kids. I was like probably, I don't know, high school, but coaching little kids playing hockey is really fun. So did that for like all of high school. And yeah, I would say probably my most comical job was in college, waitressing at like a college bar that ended up getting shut down for like
murder, right?
Murder, drugs, selling guns out of the basement, like X, Y, and Z.
While you were working
I think it was
there?
karma because they used to steal my tips out of my tip jar, and they used to write inappropriate things on my tip jar. They would write, I can't say it because it's gonna maybe expose who I am, but they would write like nicknames on my tip jar that were like sexual in nature and gross, and then they would steal my tips.
These are your bosses?
Yeah, or like the people who ran the restaurant.
Holy shit.
I know. And then it got shut down. So, I mean, it all makes sense. But that was, like, it's funny thinking about it now, but it wasn't funny when it's happening. But it was quite the learning experience.
Did it get shut down while you were working there?
After I left there. It was after I wasn't in college anymore.
Did people ever, like, did stories about them being weird and gross to their employees ever come out?
I don't think so. I think it was just all the other terrible things.
Yeah, I think they led with the murder.
The murder.
Yeah, that really cool Steal the Thunder.
Yeah, the headlines really get taken away when there's a murderer involved.
Yeah.
Damn, that is so crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
How long did you work there?
A couple years.
Wow.
Yeah, why did you work there?
It was a lot of money. I mean, like waitressing in like a, college bar thing, it was like a lot of money, which was good. And it was like fun sometimes. Like people that go hang out there and stuff, but
yeah, that makes sense. There's a reason to stay in jobs like that, like socially.
Yeah. Totally.
Damn. They took your fucking money though.
Mm-hmm.
That's so wild.
Like Uncle Sam.
True. Very true. Damn. Well, thanks for being a guest on our first episode.
Anytime.
Yeah, thanks for calling back.
Yep. Keep fighting the good fight.
All right, thanks, Sully. Enjoy smoking your pack of cigarettes.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Vicki is sending an email. But we'd like to thank our guests for coming on the program today. Obviously, starting an endeavor like this, it's scary. It's really scary, and I feel like we've talked about this for years, decades even, maybe. And the fact that we're finally doing it. And we'd just like to thank our sponsors, thank our loyal listeners, thank our Patreon supporters.
Yeah. There'll be an extra 10 hours of video footage on our Patreon.
Yeah.
For a special price.
If you want to see the behind the scenes of Clocked In. I guess before we close, though, any takeaways from the interviews today? Anything that you're thinking about, Vicki, before?
Well, I'm excited that we did this. I do think we should do it again. I think it is a good concept for a podcast. If it's not us, you can reach out to us and give us your best bids on taking over this idea, because I think it's a good idea. This has been such a pleasure. I love talking to my friends, and it's interesting to hear what people do, because I mean, I have an idea, but there are some of our friends I honestly just don't really know. Yeah, we should. There are so many stories.
And we're gonna uncover
uncover
all of them.
And it's interesting, like, as we talk to people, how certain things come up, and like, yeah, just thinking of weird. It's easy to black out weird coworkers or like bad situations that have happened in workplaces, but I feel like I have so many stories personally and like via other people. But yeah, we can get into it. I like the cold calling too.
I'm looking forward to future episodes of this. Thanks for making it to the end of Clocked In episode 1 with your hosts,
Clocking
Seth
out.
Luther and Stella Nowicki, aka Vicki Starr. Would you say we're clocking out?
Clocking out, yeah.
Clocking out
Should
for
we
the
say
day.
it on the same time?
Yeah.
At the same time.
Clocking out. It's still recording.
I know. I can tell you didn't hit the space bar.